once claimed to be the most haunted hotel in Australia. The Coach and Horses Inn in Clarkefield, Victoria, certainly has a history that can validate this claim. Looking out to see the familiar sights of our daily life is not enough to stop you from feeling that history and feeling the ominous energy of the hauntings that are attached to it. Multiple sightings of a young girl tragically murdered by the hands of her own father while trying to protect her mother from his fit of rage. The story of the lucky Irishman named Patrick Reagan, who struck gold only to be shot dead and robbed of his bounty at the front of this hotel. The many reports of vivid encounters suggest that these are hauntings as a result from these brutal deaths. And to try and learn more about what is happening, this always leads to one thing: an investigation.
I got a coldness in the knee.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Just documenting that Jeff's feeling cold sensation. Did you show yourself as an orb? There it is again. Right on cue.
You want to tell us your name?
What the hell was that? Was that you making the knocking noise after me? Can you do it again? You heard that?
Yeah.
What is that?
Holy shit, there's footsteps. Did you hear footsteps then? Is that you, Patrick? Is anybody there on the stairs?
Clarkefield is situated 40 kilometres north of Melbourne. The hotel was built in 1857 and has also gone by the name the Landsfield Hotel and the Clarkefield Hotel. When it was initially built, it was first named the Coach and Horses Inn, as it was the first stop on the way to the goldfields of Ballarat and Bendigo as part of the famous Cobb & Co. coach company. These old bluestone pubs were built with stables to enable the regular changeover of horses for the Cobb & Co. coach run between destinations. Three other examples which are west of Melbourne are the Elephant Bridge Hotel, the Inverleigh Hotel, and the Hexham Hotel. These bluestone buildings seem to command respect and defy age as they stand there bold, unaltered from earlier times. The stables at the rear of the Coach and Horses Inn seem to be at one point run down, but are now rejuvenated to their former glory. It is in these stables where a third ghost has been seen and said to roam, and is that of a Chinese man who was hung from the rafters of the stables after a fight broke out. Again, this was back in the gold rush era. But it is within the main building of the hotel where most of the paranormal activity seems to occur and gets reported. When I first arrived at the hotel, I met with the manager Paula and another staff member named Kylie. They were more than happy to talk about their experiences and other past experiences from patrons and staff members. I also got a chance to meet the owner Archie, And speaking with Archie, he is obviously quite fond of the hotel and quite skeptical in fact. I did mention to him that in the research I found that a previous owner from 1984 named Frank Nelson claims that he was pushed off the stairs by an unseen force. Archie's response was that maybe that was due to a heavy night on the alcohol rather than something supernatural. There have also been sightings of a male spirit on the stairs and seen running down the stairs as if to be trying to escape somebody. Could this be the spirit of Patrick Reagan, the Irishman? Both Paula and Kylie were witness to one specific event in which a lady was looking after a little boy and changing his nappy just outside the closet which is located under the staircase. When the little boy said a little girl wants to be let out of the cupboard, Paula, Kylie and the lady whose name was Mel all heard the little boy say this. They immediately thought to get the keys and look inside the cupboard just in case a girl was in there, only to find that there was no one in there. The boy was with a family that was just passing through having a meal. They had no knowledge of this hotel being haunted or the stories attached to it regarding a little girl. In the entrance of this room is where Paula described having an encounter where she sensed the strong presence of a male when no one was with her. She then heard the kitchen bell ringing. Kylie said she has also experienced food being thrown in the kitchen by an unseen force. Later on in the investigation, it would be in this room where we had a lot of unexplained and exciting events take place. There is a theory that renovations seems to stir up paranormal activity, and indeed renovations are taking place in this upstairs area. Paula, who is the current manager, has been an employee for this hotel for the last 15 years. And she has had some pretty close personal experiences with the spirits here, in particular the little girl. This room here, Paula explained to me that while she was outside at the bin, she glanced up at this window from outside and saw a luminous figure, which she could then make out to be the little girl staring down at her from that window. She made note that the light from the figure was also somewhat illuminating the rest of the room. Another employee named Emma has also had an encounter out where the bins are. She said one night she was taking the bins out when she caught a glimpse of what she described as a lady. She could see her legs and the white nightie sitting at the picnic table to the right. She admitted she was quite startled by this and started running back to the hotel, but when she quickly looked back, she could no longer see what she first saw. After being given the details of these accounts and shown around, I still had a few hours before the actual investigation after the pub shuts. So I decided to go to the stables, set up a camera and try for some EVPs. Also take the baseline readings of the EMF levels.
Is there a man that was murdered in here by hanging?
After listening back and reviewing the recorder, there was nothing significant captured. Also, as you can see, there were no spikes at all in EMF levels as I walked around the stables. I would then go into the upstairs part of the hotel and also take baseline readings of EMF levels. As there were still patrons downstairs, I would not try for any EVPs as voices could easily carry up the stairs and contaminate the audio. This would also give me more of a chance to get a feel for the place and let whoever may be watching get comfortable with me. You may have noticed you haven't seen Justin yet. Justin was not able to be with me on this investigation as this is an interstate one. I was actually in Victoria on annual leave from my work and I arranged to come to Clarkefield to the Coach and Horses Inn while I was in Victoria visiting family. Again, we see not one spike in EMF levels as I walk around. This is a good thing because if I do see spikes later on in the investigation, we know it's not contamination from anything man-made while upstairs here in the hotel. So as the sun sets and darkness falls across this old pub, the scene is set to try and capture some evidence of the many things that have been reported here. As the last few patrons were getting ready to leave the hotel, I made my way over to the stables to check on 2 cameras I had activated earlier. The benefit of leaving 2 cameras is that you can cross-reference anything that's picked up by either one. If one happens to pick up something that seems anomalous, you can check the other one to see if it picked it up. In this case, both cameras are capable of visible light and infrared, but one camera is also capable of seeing into the ultraviolet spectrum. This can help determine whether something has only UV properties or is only visible in the UV spectrum. You will see an example of this scenario later on in the investigation when I am at the top of the stairs. This camera is capturing visible and infrared light, and this one with the purple hue is capturing visible light, infrared light, and UV light. So because Justin is not with me on this investigation, I was able to ask Paula, the manager, Kylie, the staff member, and her husband Jeff to assist me in the investigation. This allows more credibility to any evidence captured, as there are other witnesses, and in general it is always handy to have an assistant or 2 while investigating. Also, as Paula has been an employee for 15 years, it would be only natural to include her in the investigation based on Paula being a familiar face. Earlier I was able to set up 3 static night vision cameras upstairs. Myself, Jeff and Paula would start the investigation in the room in which Paula had seen the little girl from outside. We are using the modified SP7 spirit box, so there is no radio interference whatsoever. We will also be concentrating on capturing some EVP. At this point there are no other patrons left in the hotel. Only staff member Emma and Jeff's wife Kylie are downstairs finishing up their duties.
If you're the little girl that's still in this hotel, don't be afraid. We're just interested in you and whether you can speak to us. Would you like to speak to us? Would you like to speak to Paula? Can you see 3 of us in this room? Can you repeat the name Paula?
With no voices coming through the spirit box, we try to capture some responses on the audio recorder. These small handheld recorders are perfect for real-time playback to see if you've caught anything.
Paula has seen a little girl up in this room. If the little girl is here, would you like to speak to us? I'm sorry, we don't know your name, so we would like you to tell us if you could, please. Is there a man with us right now? Can you respond to us? We're interested in hearing you.
Right here is a potential response of some sort. Listen carefully.
Is there a man with us right now? Can you respond to us? We're interested in hearing you.
It seems to be a 2-syllable word spoken by a man. I'm not sure exactly what it says. This voice was only picked up with the handheld camera here, but not the audio recorder in Jeff's hand.
Can you see us? Can you come up and speak to the device in Jeff's hand?
Paula has seen a little girl up in this room. If the little girl is here, would you like to speak to us? I'm sorry, we don't know your name, so we would like you to tell us if you could, please. Interested in hearing you. Can you see us? Can you come up and speak to the device in Jeff's hand? Are you happy that we're here? Or are you unhappy?
With no definite clear responses captured on audio or through the spirit box, we make our way to a room known as the murder room. It's known as the murder room because psychics that have come through this hotel have sensed a clear indication that a murder may have taken place in this room. Again, we will try to communicate using the spirit box and the audio recorders.
Okay, this room's affectionately known as the murder room. And there's definitely a different vibe when you walk into this room. So Paula again's got the spirit box. I'm giving the spirit box to Paula because she is, what you would say, well acquainted with this place. So I think if the spirits of this place are here, they're probably going to feel most comfortable with talking to Paula. So I'm going to encourage whoever may be in here with us to go up to Paula's left hand and speak your name. Would you like to speak to Jeff? Can you give some sort of indication through the device in Paula's hand that you are here with us? Do you?
I got coldness in the knee.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Just documenting that Jeff's feeling a cold sensation. Are you trying to interact with Jeff right now? Which leg was it, Jeff? Your left, right one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they were strong on the knee.
Yeah. Was it like a distinct cold sensation?
Like a distinct cold sensation.
Wow. Good. Oh, I just saw a massive orb.
Really?
Yep, to the your left, just to the right of where you're holding the spirit box.
Okay, I am making note of this potential orb because it has occurred not long after Jeff has experienced a cold sensation, although it is probably just dust moving up past the camera lens and the light at the same time.
None of us were moving. There's no draft in here. That was like right to the, about a foot away from your hand where you're holding the spirit box. It went up, straight up.
We stop the spirit box and get ready to do some more EVP work with the audio recorders.
Because right then, we documented, you had the cold cell. I saw an orb. Say you were holding your hand out here. It was about here. It goes shoo.
Really?
Yep.
So like even Steph like just right on my knee just around here. It's just got colder.
Real cold, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you feel like there was any sort of pressure on your leg?
No,
Just
it's
cold.
just like a real cold sensation, and a couple of seconds later it just sort of went.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just a breeze or anything like that coming through.
And it's not what you would consider a cold night, is it? So
No.
not at all. All right, you ready to start?
Yep.
All right. We're in the murder room, still upstairs. We're going to do another EVP session. Jeff and I both are going to roll on our recorders and then play them back. Okay, we'll record. Were you trying to get Jeff's attention? Did you touch Jeff's leg? Were you trying to interact with Paula? Did you show yourself as an orb? There it is again. Right on cue. Same thing, straight up from the floor.
Again, I see an orb drift up from the floor next to Paula. This time it seems to be further away. Again, this time it is corresponding to a question in which I asked did it show itself as an orb. I am not claiming this to be paranormal, but again the timing of it is interesting, and it seems to be glimmering more so than the last one as it moves up.
Right in front of the door that time, yep, same thing. Is that... Sorry.
Sorry, I was going to say I want to know if it's the man that's in here or the little girl.
After several more minutes of questions, we decided to stop the recorders and review them. We reviewed mine first and had nothing out of the ordinary show up. Then we reviewed Jeff's, and again nothing out of the ordinary was found. Using two recorders side by side can give you an indication that if someone or something does speak, it may be closer to one of the recorders, which will give us more of an indication where exactly in the room this spirit may have been. After walking through the other rooms, we decided to stop in this bathroom and try for some more responses before we head downstairs again. We tried the spirit box again but were unsuccessful. No voices or any whispers came through on the audio recorders either. So we made our way downstairs and joined up with Kylie and Emma and went to the middle room.
Alright, we're in the middle room. If anyone is in here with us who are standing in here, can you come up and speak to the device in Jeff's hand? You've probably heard us using this all over the place tonight. Don't be scared of it. I know it makes it a lot of noise, but it enables us to hear you if you choose to come up and speak near it. Can you tell us your name? Can you finish this knocking sequence? Did you hear that? Was that you girls? No. Are you serious? Did you hear that, Jeff?
I thought it was a board creaking.
Oh, was it?
No.
Oh my God, I thought it came from around there.
I heard that.
Oh my God, did you tell me someone heard that?
I heard that, but it wasn't in here. I heard it.
No, it was out there. It was from out around the
What
stairs.
the fuck was that?
Was that you making the knocking noise after me? Can you do it again? You heard that?
Oh my God, what was that?
Just turn that up for a second. I just want to be sure if that's not something rattling after I knock. We appreciate if you're responding to us. Can you just do it again, please? Can you finish this knocking sequence? that was the door.
It was creaking.
Yeah, that wasn't what happened before though. It was like a banging.
I did hear a bang.
I heard a bang, but not in here, out there.
Yeah, it was out there. The first 2 times I did it, I heard the exact same thing.
Same.
After.
It wasn't the same sequence, but it was just black and
It was like a. So you heard it?
I heard two.
Far out.
Okay, let's re-watch this to see exactly what just happened.
Can you finish this knocking sequence? Did you hear that? Was that you girls? Are you serious? Did you hear that, Jeff?
I thought it was a door creaking.
Oh, was it?
No.
Oh my god, I thought it came from around there. Can you finish this knocking sequence? Did you hear that?
Jeff said he heard nothing, but he was actually holding the spirit box. Kylie thought it may be the floorboards creaking under my foot.
Did you hear that? Was that you girls? Are you serious? Did you hear that, Jeff?
I thought it was a door creaking.
Oh, was it?
No.
Oh my god, I thought it came from around there.
You can clearly hear what sounds like low banging noises as if something had fallen over or hit the floor. Setting up multiple cameras not only gives you more opportunities to catch something visually, but it also lets you determine where a noise came from. So through all the confusion of noisy spirit boxes, floors creaking, doors creaking, we can work out more precisely where this noise came from and perhaps what it actually was. So logic tells us we should check the camera at the top of the stairs first, as it's the closest one to us. And there it is, clear as anything. Judging by that, it sounds like it's at the base of the stairs or somewhere around the stairs. I cross-reference it one more time by checking the second camera in the staff room, and it does suggest that it is downstairs near the stairwell somewhere. To me, it sounds like something hitting the walls or the floor. Although these banging noises aren't exactly the end of that knocking sequence, it is quite extraordinary that they even happened once I asked for that sequence to be finished. Of course, this was just the first sequence. Let's listen again to the second sequence.
It was from around the stairs.
What the fuck was that?
Was that you making the knocking noise after me? Can you do it again? You heard that?
I'm like, what was that?
As you can hear, this time we all heard that bang, even over the noise of the spirit box. Let's hear the enhancements. And just as the first sequence was picked up clearly by the 2 cameras, this sequence should be the same. Again, it is picked up loud and clear, and this time it sounds a little bit closer. As we have now determined that it is more than just a door creaking, I will let the clip roll to show how confused we were, and we were still trying to work out exactly what happened.
It was like a banging.
I did hear a bang.
I heard a bang, but not in here, out there.
Yeah, it was out there. The first 2 times I did it, I heard the exact same thing.
Same.
After.
It wasn't the same sequence, but it was just black and
It was like a. So you heard it?
I heard two.
Far out. That was right on. Let me just peek around this corner. Can you come and say hello to us?
More noises occur which create more confusion, which you will see.
Oh my God, that was so clear. Is there someone on the staircase? Can you hear me knocking? Don't tell me it was that. No, it sounded like you could hear the
I heard it once.
shuddering, almost like it was vibrating something afterwards. Start that again. There's a little switch on there.
It wasn't a creak.
No, it wasn't a creak. It was like banging.
No, it didn't sound like that.
And it wasn't necessarily a door. It was like something thumping. Yeah. It wasn't a creak. It wasn't that door creaking. It was out of the room. It was out of the room. I would have heard that creak. Okay, we're going to start another EVP session. Just shine a light over there. Okay, started.
What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that?
These noises occurred while we were getting ready to do another EVP session, and as you can hear from all the camera angles, they are clearly from around the stairs area, or at least from that side of the hotel downstairs. This time it sounds like something rattling or something quickly banging together.
That's the cage up on the stairs. That's like the cage moving. Can you come down and say hello to us? Probably push that camera over. Is anybody up there? Hello? Can you come down and talk to us? Can you make a knocking noise like this? Wow. Do you know, have you heard that? Does that noise happen? Is that like a generator or starting or anything? No? It sounded like, the first thing I thought it was that, that cage that separates the stairs to the upstairs. It sounded like that rattling.
So we get organised with our recorders and place one on one table and the other on another table and record at the same time to try and capture some voices responding to us.
Is that you, Patrick?
Is that you, Patrick? Is that you, Patrick? Is that you, Patrick?
Within a minute, we get a loud response after I ask if that's you, Patrick. Could that have been Patrick Reagan running down the stairs or making noises around the stairs earlier? Could he be the one who has been seen running down the stairs before?
We appreciate it if you are actually speaking to us. We just can't hear you with our ears. Not yet anyway. That's why we're getting you to speak into this device and the one next to Jeff over there. But we do appreciate if you're actually responding to us. There's a noise out there again. That was me whispering. Walking. Holy shit, there's footsteps. Did you hear footsteps then?
Again, I heard a noise coming from the hallway, and as I walk towards the door and investigate, we all hear footsteps. But was this just me upsetting the floorboards as I walk towards the door?
There's a noise out there again. That was me whispering. Walking.
It's hard to make out on those enhanced replays, but to me and the girls it sounded as if something was moving out in the hallway.
Walking. Holy shit, there's footsteps. Did you hear footsteps then? Okay, I just heard footsteps out in this hallway. Did you hear it from here or in there? Can you keep walking down here towards me? My name's Paul. I'd like for you to introduce yourself to me. I'm just about to knock her right. Is anybody there on the stairs?
As there were no responses just here, I wanted to get one of my UV capable cameras and head upstairs before all the activity died down completely. These cameras, as mentioned before, have the added ability of seeing into the ultraviolet light as well as infrared and visible light. I have attached it to a light rig which consists of 3 UV lights. I'm setting all of the lights to strobe, and you will notice they will gradually fall in sync and out of sync with each other as I move around. This sort of strobing effect can enhance the chances of seeing something anomalous moving through, as it will fall quickly between light and shadows as the strobes are going off, giving it a flickering effect. Sometimes the overexposure of infrared illuminators can actually overexpose something so it's not as noticeable. That is the theory of the mechanism of these strobing effects. Nothing strange seen or heard until now, once I turn this infrared illuminator off this static night vision camera. Let's have a look. Let's watch again and slow it down. As you can see, when I start zooming in, you can see something white right here. So once I start zooming in, you can tell this anomaly is already towards the back of this hallway. And then as I zoom back, this anomaly comes around and back into frame just around the edge of where the UV light spans. You can see it quite clearly right here and here, and then obviously even more clearly as it comes around to the side. It sort of follows the edge of the circle of where the UV light spans and comes around underneath. As we watch it really slowed down, it gives the impression that it is a bug flapping its wings, and it may very well be, but we also have to remember that I'm using strobe lights that are blinking on and off, which would clearly be shining light on and off something, giving the impression that it may be flapping its wings. The beauty of this sequence is that I'm standing right next to the infrared static night vision camera. Now, I had just unplugged the infrared illuminator so the UV strobes could have more effect in the dark, contrasting light against dark. The UV lights are also emitting some visible light, which you can see being subtly picked up by the infrared camera. The ultraviolet light camera I've got in my hand is getting more light because it is picking up the ultraviolet light and the visible light, so it is more bright looking through that view. So in theory and by rights, we should see this anomaly come straight towards this infrared camera. I am basically standing directly over it. It is probably at my hip height. Now when we look at it coming around in the ultraviolet camera, it is probably right in line, and therefore the visible light coming from the strobes should be hitting this anomaly if it was a bug and showing up on the camera next to me, the infrared one. As I mentioned earlier in the investigation, this is the incident I was referring to, regarding something being able to show up in UV and not in infrared invisible light. This is a perfect example. The static night vision camera is infrared and visible light. It has not picked up the anomaly. The camera in my hand has the ultraviolet capabilities. It has picked up the anomaly. So does this mean that this anomaly is only projecting UV light or only reflecting UV light? When we watch them side by side and slowed down, you can clearly see that where it is captured on the ultraviolet camera, it should be bang smack in the middle of the frame in the infrared camera, but nothing is there. This suggests that the camera is not picking up the reflection of UV light off this anomaly, which suggests the anomaly is only reflecting UV light, or only absorbing or only producing UV light. Remember, the infrared camera can also see visible light. As you can see, it's picking up the visible light flickering from the strobes. So why is this visible light from the strobe not hitting the anomaly and being seen by this infrared visible light camera? For the last part of the investigation, myself, Jeff and Kylie make our way to the stables. We try the spirit box for the last time, and again we get no responses at all through this device. So we then concentrate on trying to capture some EVPs, again with 2 recorders running.
Alright, Jeff's got his going. I've got mine going. Okay, you've probably heard us ask enough questions, but we're going to still try to communicate with you if anyone's here. Jeff and I have put 2 devices on these tables which can record your voice if you choose to come up and speak close enough to it. Would you like to come and speak to us and tell us who you are. Tell us your name. How many people are in this room, in the stables? Zero spikes and it's 18.2 degrees. Can you see us standing in the middle of the room? Jeff's sitting. Can you see us? Can you let us know?
Okay, right here we have another potential loud response.
Was that? Was that?
It possibly sounds like someone shouting no, but it's very distorted, as if someone was right up against the device.
Can you see us standing in the middle of the room? Jeff sitting. Can you see us? Can you let us know? Are you the little girl that's still in the hotel?
Once again, Jeff's recorder did not pick it up, as there is total silence in between when I ask the next question.
Can you see us? Can you let us know? Are you the little girl that's still in the hotel?
Are you the little girl that's still in the hotel? Would you like to tell us your name?
Here's the next response captured, and this one sounds more distinctively human, as if someone is pronouncing a word.
Would you like to tell us your name?
What the hell was that?
Would you like to tell us your name?
What the hell was that?
I personally can't work out what exactly is trying to be said here, or what word this is, as it comes directly after me asking if you can tell us your name. I can't recognise what this name would be.
Would you like to tell us your name?
What the hell was that?
Would you like to tell us your name? Would you like to tell us your name?
It's interesting that again, Jeff's recorder does not pick up what mine does, although it does pick up the little knocking noise that my recorder also does, but it falls silent just before that, where mine captured the voice.
Would you like to tell us your name? Would you like to tell us your name?
What the hell was that?
Because of the unclear and distorted nature of these responses, I can't say definitively that it is paranormal or a spirit talking to us. I did replay my recorder then and there once more so we could listen back to it. Here it is again. I will let you decide what is actually said.
It almost sounds like someone shouting.
Would you like to tell us your name?
This investigation was a very memorable one for me, for two main reasons. The first being that this pub actually featured in an Australian documentary on the paranormal, and I recall watching that documentary over and over and over again, and getting to know that segment regarding the Clarkefield Hotel very well. And to then years later be able to come here and actually investigate was quite a surreal feeling. The second reason being that although I did not capture something that I could blatantly say is proof of ghosts, the banging responses to those knocking sequence were real, and the excitement and confusion around that incident was real. And through the whole process of putting this video production together, I was still amazed on how those knocking responses even occurred. I can't prove that it is a paranormal occurrence, I still have no idea why or how they happened. Even if it were locals playing pranks, I still can't see how they were able to hear from outside the knocking that I was doing inside, as the knocks actually occurred inside. Although I do walk to the stairwell after these noises occur, it doesn't occur to me to walk around to the back of the stairwell and check the cupboard underneath to see whether it is locked or unlocked, or whether the door makes some sort of rattling noise when you bang it like we heard in the middle room. I do consider this a mistake in the investigation on my behalf, but these sort of things can happen in the excitement and confusion while trying to figure out what's going on around you. It's incidents like these that keep your adrenaline running and interest peaked to try and find answers and try and find more ways to understand what unfolds during an investigation. So in closing, I would like to thank the Coach and Horses Inn for allowing me to investigate. In particular, Paula, Jeff and Kylie, who were able to assist me in the investigation while I was without Justin. From Beyond Boundaries Paranormal, I hope you all have enjoyed this presentation. Thank you for watching.